All right, guys, welcome back to the shack. And tonight, Kline's over here. He's brought the LM3 over, and he's going to show us how to put the rails on the machine.
I think Kline will be doing more of the showing.
So this is the LM3 that I've had for quite a while. Kline's been using it now for several months. It does have the upgraded head on it. And guys, before we get further into the video, I want to bring up a point that's kind of been a point of contention recently. When I was sent the upgrade for the LM3, we did a video about it, and they sent me the front rail, the entire front part to the machine. Now, there's been some back and forth about whether the kit that is going to be available to the public is going to come as a whole rail, or if it's just going to come as a control board or something in between. So this one did come as just the front chassis, the module, and some wire changes. But I can't guarantee that that's the way it's going to be. Ortur has reached out to me, and they advised me that once they've got all the paperwork together and the instructions, they're going to send that out to me so we can kind of redo the video. Even if we have to take the machine apart and put it back together just to show you how to do it, we'll try to get that done for you. But this is a 20-watt LM3, and you've been using it for 2 or 3 weeks now, right?
3 weeks, yeah.
So how many jobs have you done with it, and is it working pretty good so far?
I probably did 4 or 5 jobs so far, and it's worked great. I mean, it's one of the best machines I have in my garage.
So no problem so far?
No problem so far.
Until we attempt this.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, guys, so if you want to see how well Kline does at putting this thing together, stick around, and we're going to move the camera around, and we'll be right back. Kline is going to lead the way here and get this thing started. So what we're going to do first, Kline?
I think first we're going to cut these wires loose. So we'll go do that.
I think that's a great idea, guys. We need to get that module off there and get it out of our way. Kline's being careful not to cut any wires with those wire cutters there. He almost did earlier when we was taking the air assist hose off of it. So he's trying to be really careful not to cut a wire. The repair fee is going to be astronomical if he was to cut a wire. But the first thing we want to do, guys, is we're going to take the machine, we're going to take the module off, and we're going to put it over there out of the way because it's not going to be needed for this build. It's going to get in the way, and there'll be a risk of damaging it. So all jokes aside, that's what we're going to do first, is we're just going to take that loose and put it over here with the other parts. All right. Just remember, Kline, that is the wire marked L. It doesn't look like it would fit on the other connector, but that's going to be the one marked L. So we got that off there, and the screws that hold this guy together are under the bottom right here. So what we're going to have to do, this is the parts that came with the upgrade. You've got this Y-axis wire cable here, which I'm guessing maybe it replaces the one that's on there. We'll figure that out shortly. And then we've got a longer X-axis. So we can go ahead and rip that one there off, Kline, and cut them zip ties and just get it out of our way. So we're going to have to replace, of course, this one because the machine's going from its current configuration to, was it 850, what they said?
850. Yeah, it'll be 400 by 850.
Let me grab that for you. Look like you're struggling a little bit there. So the cable unplugs from the front here. You've also, before you can take the take it apart, there's another cable here that goes into the rail that needs to be unplugged. Once we get those unplugged and we can get all these wires out of the way. So once you do that, guys, it's going to be fairly simple to get to break it apart. We are going to have to take the belts off, so we're going to need to take the belt covers loose. And that should allow us access to where the gear is on the end to be able to get to remove the belts. I'm going to go ahead and take those off. It came with an instruction book, but since I've kind of put this thing together and took it apart a couple of times, we're just going to do it. I think that'll work. See if there's screws on the other side too, probably. Yes, there's 2 screws on the other side too. We'll cheat.
These 2 screws got to come out as well?
No. Just the retention screws right there should be enough.
I need a smaller screwdriver.
Life is hell on a little bit of money and a back road and a crocodile bar on a dead sun comes by. And loud, down in Alabama in the promised land, from anyone till the job gets done. To be born in the country. We don't need to buy just a can of cider. Little country.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these rails. You got to twist it. You got to twist it.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, man. There we are. All right. All right, guys, so going in this blind, what we did find out is the new kit comes with this extension for that wire that runs the length of the machine. So that's pretty handy. We were kind of wondering, like I said, we've got this for the main harness, but that wire there needed an update as well. So you trying to figure out which way to orient it?
Yeah.
Do we need to get the book out? They look like they're the same. All right, guys, we had to break out the book. So the one thing that we did need to do is we had to take the tensioners off of the old assembly, and we've had to replace them onto the new extended rails. The rails appear to be the same as far as the tooling on them. The only difference that I see is the new ones have a larger limit screw right here. They did send some screws with the kit, 3 of them exactly. So I'm assuming that, I do know with the 20-watt upgrade, there's been some discrepancies about using the first hole and the second hole as a stop to avoid the impact of the bigger module. So since we're running a 20-watt module, I'm assuming we're going to need these 2 screws. We're going to need these 2 screws to be put in the closest hole to the center of the gantry, but we're going to give it just a second and just make sure that we've got everything that we need to do done. We are going to have to do some modification to the gantry. This little device here has to go on there. So we've got everything prepped as far as we've got the tensioners on here, and now we're going to have to take the gantry, and they're showing this little guy here going on the gantry right here behind this little holder thing. So we're going to have to take that apart and put this guy on there. So take this little screw here out. Not real sure what that little piece is, but you know, whatever. And then we have to put this guy in here. Like so, and it kind of hooks to the stepper, so I'm not sure what the purpose of this part is, but we'll figure that out. I may need your hand. Yeah, makes things easier. So, got that on there, and it's basically just like a little lever. It almost looks like maybe it's something just to tie the wires to.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, and it could be to keep the other wire from falling over in the workspace too, because it's kind of. All right, so which side's our front? This is the front, right? All right, so we need this facing that way, like so. All right, then we're gonna have to add these rails. You know the drill. You took them out of the drill, right? Did you put your wire through yours?
No, let me put the wire through there first.
You're gonna need to do that. But I did confirm in the book, my little bit of research I had to do, that is an extension, as I suspected, so that you don't have to worry with taking the bottom part apart and unplugging that inside. So we're just kind of letting Kline fish that thing through there and making sure it comes out the other end. Now you're going to want to make sure you don't have that. You've got to have that. There's a slot in there. It's out of the way of the screw.
Little country, no landers, my back that deer. It's the way we don't care. Country down, raise a little hill and the big nun. Or make a little hard till the job gets done. I'm proud to be born free in the country. From the country down in Alabama, raise a little hill in the promised land. Don't take none from anyone. Work a little harder till the job gets done. From the country down in Alabama, raise a little hill in the promised land. Don't take none from anyone. Work a little harder till the job gets done. I'm proud to be born free.
All right. Now with the belts, we gotta go ahead and take them off the front. You're gonna have to take the front loose to get it on the back. Take these tensioners out. Put it on the back first, and then we'll put it on the front because there's no adjustment on the back. There's a little Allen screw on the front right here. If you back this Allen screw off, it'll let that thing come out. Lets the tensioner come back towards you. So you're going to want to back it off. Don't take the grub all the way out. Just back some pressure off of it. Take the little nut off the end of it. The washer goes right behind the bearing, just like this. See, like that? That washer keeps it shoulder off of the material so it doesn't scrub. Now that little grub screw is quite long, so you actually may have to back it on up some more. Then once you get it to where you can get the pulley on there, the nut just kind of sits in those little ridges right there and tighten her down. Now we ain't got to tighten it all the way because we still got a lot of adjustments and stuff like that we got to handle. You ain't got to tighten it down real tight. Looks like we got most of it right on our own there. Need to move the toolbox out the way. All right. Pick your side up. All right, we got to take this gantry, go all the way to the back with it. Take your belt. You should still have some slack. If you didn't tighten it up like I told you. And slide it in that little jaw. Once the gantry's touching, you want the gantry touching this part. You want it resting on this.
All right.
Got it in there? All right, so our gantry should be synced up. Now, let's turn this back over. We're gonna have a bigger table now. All right, you're gonna need to plug that in. Then you gotta get your wire lined up here. Where are the other two screws at?
Where's the magnet? Should we get the magnet?
Yes.
One of them is. No, there it is.
I won't help you with this one since that wire's in the way. To make sure that wire, see that wire's got a little groove it's got to go in right there. And then just kind of come in from, yeah.
Yeah, we're not lined up. There we go. Hope that lined up right. There we go.
All right. So now we put our little covers back on. Well, yes.
From the country down in Alabama, raise a little hell in the promised land. Don't take no.
Now be careful with that. You broke something. The harder you twist it, the harder it turns. So easily twist it. Other way. Twist it the other way. The harder you twist it, the harder it turns.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
It's gyroscope controlled. So if you hold your hand still, it don't do nothing. If you twist it to the right, it goes that way. If you twist it to the left, it goes that way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's my smart screwdriver.
Really cool what you have in the collection. Black Shack has all the new modern tools.
Except for these screwdrivers. I ordered me a set to replace them. They're kind of, they disappointed me. It looked like a good buy. So I bought them because they were cheap, and
They've done the job so far.
and the handles are starting to twist when the handles twist inside them. So I have a little hard time with that.
Move this out.
All right. Need to get our cable and reinstalled over here so I can put some zip ties on it. Got the big end goes here.
Work a little harder till the job gets done. From the country down in Alabama, raise a little hell in the promised land. Don't take none from anyone. Work a little harder till the job gets done. I'm proud to be born free. I'm proud to be born free in the country. In the country.
better already.
See, this doesn't actually go to the gantry. This just goes to the. It doesn't go to the laser. It goes to the gantry right here. This will should have a stepper. There's the x-axis. All right. I need a module and the module cable. That's it. No, not that one. Yeah, just a module. Oh, it's attached to it. I forgot. It stays attached. All right, so the one marked L was the one that goes to the laser. Get that plugged up. We're good to go. All right. And then you've got a Z-axis here, which, something to come, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Might be your next upgrade. So, a little more zip ties. Man, let me do that. I'm kind of particular about that cable management situation right there.
Looking at the other two cables.
See that little clip right there? They put you a little clip here that you can run a zip tie through. And then you're going to want to pull this up to this like thicker part. Just make sure it's got enough room to do this. And put this part right there where they've got that extra heat shrink at. All right, ease it back. Let's make sure we don't have nothing binding. It's kind of trained away from the workspace. That's what I was kind of hoping for. All right, guys, we thought we had it together, but unfortunately somebody...
This was his side.
No, it wasn't. Somebody crossed up their cable. So we've got to take this tensioner out here and swap this cable around a little bit there, or this belt, I mean.
It's a common mistake.
I mean, you did get it in there.
I did. It's common.
It was
mistake.
on there. I was wondering why it was. I was wondering why it was so snug to move back and forth, and we figured it out.
I'm not thinking about it.
See, look, when you put the belts on, you kind of just use your finger and just run it up through there like that. That way you can look and see if your belt is, if your belt's
I'm not thinking
correct or
about
not.
it at all. I mean, I understand mistakes happen.
Yeah. So, and once we do that, put the tensioner back in. I want it to kind of fall at about a 45-degree angle, ever so gently. Don't let it slam.
I'm not.
All right, let me tighten these up and then we'll test it, see if it stays. All right, so bring it back to me. Bring it back to me. I'll be honest with you, that's a new belt.
Yeah.
It moves. It's almost moving under its own control.
Okay.
So I think it's a little tighter than it needs to be, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
That is a new belt, so it's going to stretch out hopefully.
Down in Alabama in the promised land, from anyone till the job gets done. To be born in the country.
Hey guys, well, we managed to get it done, and this is a kit that Kline brought over here, and he bought this himself to upgrade the machine with. You got it off Amazon, didn't you?
Yeah. Bought it off Amazon, $179.
Yeah, and to go along with it, he actually got himself a new honeycomb as well, and it's got nice little burnt square in it now that it's leaving over here. But all in all, the install wasn't terrible. One thing I will say about Ortur is most of their stuff plugs in and just unplugs. Like I said, I want to reiterate the video that I did before about the upgrade to the 20-watt module. That was the way they sent me and my friend Steve over at Ventori's workshop. They sent us those modules already encased in the front rail, so it was one unit. Now, like I said, there's some controversy as to whether you're going to have to actually take that apart and put the board in there, or how they're going to do that. So once we get some clarification on that, we'll come back around to that. But regardless of the process of doing the upgrade, the upgraded 20-watt module that we have, it works well. You do lose a little bit of your work area when running it with the extensions. But what do you think, Kline? Is it worth it having a 20-watt and not having?
You're going to double your work area anyway, so actually you're over double. So
Yeah.
you're only going to lose about, what, 15 meters, maybe?
15 millimeters?
Millimeters. Sorry.
Yeah, we're running it right now. Let me make sure I'm looking at it right, just to be sure. Right now, we're running it at 834 instead of 850. And now I'm being generous, and I gave us an extra millimeter or so to make sure we don't have a collision. So 834 by 400 is not bad. We did make sure that it is still doing the 400, even with the 20-watt module. It still has that capability. So I think that's a pretty good deal. The machine's really fast, and so that's going to be a benefit with having a larger work area with a machine that travels as fast as it does between cuts. That's going to make it work out really well. And the honeycomb that he has here is a cool look honeycomb, and you found that on Amazon too, didn't you?
On Amazon, it's $159.
$159. Yeah. Now I will warn you, I mysteriously cut myself somehow, and we think it could have been possibly when I went to get the material, because there are some sharp edges in places, and we're going to be building an enclosure now going forward for this machine. I don't know if y'all noticed it in the background or not, but Kline has returned my original build enclosure, and we're going to be building a big enclosure to house this thing. All right, guys, so we got it done. And Brian, I hope you're happy. You got to see Kline again. And Kline will be back with us sometime in the future, I'm sure, right? Yes. You going to start coming over more? But anyway, I appreciate it, guys. I hope the video was helpful. And literally, this was not a review. This was not something somebody sent me. This was two guys, one who knows a little bit about lasers. He's learning. And we took it and went forward without much help from the instructions. But the instructions were clear. If you follow the instructions that are included in the kit, it's not that difficult. But you saw the process we went through to get it to go, and it's working. So I hope it helps you guys. If you have any questions or comments, or want to see more Kline, drop me a comment down below and let me know. And I'll try to talk him into coming over a little more and doing some more stuff. So until next time, be safe and have a good day.